Welcome to 2026 almost. We're not quite there. But I just wanted to do a how to build a starter deck in 2026. We're almost to version 1.0. So as you can see, I have this location here on the map, and I'm picking this nice, unique stone circle that just so happened to be in the area. And I mean, you can't really beat it. It's the perfect spot to start a build, whether it be a house or a dock or a house dock. It's just an amazing place to start. The circles are flat for the most part, so it's really easy to start at a specific level. So as you can see, I just leveled. So we're working on the foundation now. You can choose to raise the ground from here. I tend to like the ocean to be, deep, so I try not to mess with the ground too much. So I'm going to build a workbench, which I just did, and then I'm going to start laying down my foundation 4 pieces after I attempt to raise the ground. Anyway, here we go. Now we got the foundation 4 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so 4 wide. Okay. Now we're gonna start pushing her out. 3 and 4. So as you can see, I've reached a point where I'm it's a little steep right there, so I'm not gonna be getting a whole lot of foundation strength. So I am staggering my building blocks or checkerboarding them so that I can raise the ground from a vantage point, and that way I'm not doing excessive work in raising my foundation in regards to what I want to see. So we've done that one, and we're going to do this one over here. We'll go stand on the other and level it out. It should fit nicely. All right, cool. So now we're gonna fill in these gaps. And let's see, we're 1, 2, 3, 4 by 4 at the moment. And we're gonna keep pushing out because we want to get in that ocean water. Now this is a bay, kind of for the dock, and you can see the waves are lapping decently high. And if you want to avoid waves when you're picking out a location for your dock, you can go to a river in the middle of a continent or in between 2 continents or giant islands, essentially. Like, look at this water level. It is staggering how high it raises and lowers. So I'm like, what the heck? But if you want to avoid that, go to a river. It doesn't have waves. It doesn't get affected by weather. You don't get crazy storm waves and stuff on those river ones. You only get it in the oceans and bays. Now, so I was just laying down a nice little foundation wood pole there. And I'm touching the ground. Not yet. Now I am. So you got to make sure you're touching the ground so you get your stable foundation. And over here, I'm about to find out how deep this spot really is. 1, 2, 1, 2, and then I think I'm good, and it still breaks. So I got to go 4 deep just for this one spot, and I don't think that's acceptable because you lose a lot of your foundation strength depending on how high up you are from the ground using wood. So as you can see, I've also repeated the process that I was doing before in order to raise the ground. This allows me to do some cool stuff and catch this fish randomly. So 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 up. And then we're gonna do this middle one as well, 3 as well. Go down, take a look, see if we're close enough. Yes, we are. We're going to raise the ground, make our foundation even more solid along the edge of the waters. All right. I seem to be pretty happy with that. We're going to fill in our gaps. That water's chasing me like crazy. I'm debating whether I want to widen it or not, and I do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, back, and 1, 2, 3, and 4 up. So now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the original one was 4 by 4, and now we've got a 6 by 4 platform on the front. And we're gonna start laying these wooden beams down to really, just establish the strength aspect of this framework here. Because if you haven't noticed, we're doing the framework now. Foundation's done, essentially. Now it's time for the framework. And as you can see, I'm just going around the perimeter. That's it. I purposely skipped these spots up here so that I could do that. And I'm gonna add some stairs, but stairs don't go deep enough, so I'm gonna have to use the ladder. This game's unmodded, by the way. It is on creative mode, just so I don't have to use resources. And I don't have a bunch of stuff attacking me all the time. But this is just for you guys to see what's going on, how to build your basic build. This is all using wood, no other materials. And you'll see being able to utilize wood to build a starter dock is absolutely essential, right? And I would highly suggest you keep your starter dock somewhat distanced from your main base, because your main base is going to get raided quite often. And that's in, a regular game of vanilla Valheim. You're just going to get raided, and it's bound to happen. So if you can avoid your dock getting destroyed or your boat getting destroyed, I would suggest you do so by keeping your dock distanced from your house or your base. It's just a suggestion. You don't have to do it. That's just what I started doing after getting raided so much and having my docks destroyed by trolls and my boats. So, teach their own on that. That was my lesson learned after about, 500 hours or so. So we've added this half wall all along the perimeter of the framework. Now we're going to start adding these wooden poles. We're going to put these at every single corner. And we're making sure to put the top at the level of the half walls. That way they can stick out wherever they need to, so that you can make adjustments in the necessary positions that you would like. All right, cool. Now we've done that. We're gonna raise the frame now. Just like so. This just gives us a good base to start establishing the ribs of the building, so that we can do the actual framework or roofing. Or the rest of the framework, my bad. So here we go. We're doing the wooden beams now, all the way across. Nice, easy layout, nothing crazy. I mean, you don't really need anything crazy, to be fair. So it's not really a big deal. Just follow along, by the way, if you would like. Pause, slow down. This video's sped up just slightly. It's at 1.25 times or 1.25 times faster. It's not much faster. I still wanted people to see what I was doing step by step, so the majority of the video is sped up a little bit. I haven't made any cuts though. This is the raw version, and you'll get what you get, I guess. It's pretty good build though. I enjoyed it. So now we're doing the roof jetting out part, which you'll only need 2 of the 1 meter beams. And then we're doing a 45 here. And we're going to show you those 2 1 meter beams again. Doing another 45. And then we're going to do 26s. And a 26-degree X or cross, roof cross. And there we go. We've got our main framework finished now. We're just gonna lay down these posts here to kind of really establish that jutted out roof. There we go. Make it look a little pretty. And now we're gonna move on to roofing. This is the 4th step. So pay attention to this. I just realized that I don't have anything connecting it. There's a couple of different methods I could. I'm also offset from the original framework. So I just snapped to that half or that 1 meter pole down there or beam. Boom. And now I'm going to line up perfectly with my back wall for this roof right here. Boom. Back on track. And you'll see me do the same thing multiple times in this particular section because I forget. But I got to do it. Repeat the process. Trust the process. It works. Almost forgot there, but caught myself. And all right, now we just got to do the roof. And I totally forget again. So just keep with the process. Stay the same distance. Just keeps it easy. There we go. Got our first section of the roof done. If you like that little homestead over there, I'll put a link up right about now, I guess. It's my multi-modular shelter designs video. It's pretty cool. Anyway, so I went back into the roofing part 2, and I've decided, oh yeah, I want O corners here. These are 45s. And then at this point, I'm like, no, I don't want the O corners. So I decide, hey, why not just repeat the process I just did with 45s right here? And I'm not going to jut this roof out. This is just going to stay as is. So 45 there, 45 here. And you can see it kind of doesn't line up perfectly with the other roof, which is, in this particular case, perfectly fine. I'm not worried about it at all. And we got the 26s following through, and you know what? It does end up lining up with those 26 degrees. So yeah, not too worried. It doesn't line up with the 45s, but when the 26s hit, man, it's pretty. Building our wall. As you can see, it's getting kind of weak, so we're gonna have to readjust our foundation. And with these walls, I didn't jut them out, so I don't have to worry about, you know, getting the lineup wrong. But you can tell that the roof just fell just there. So that means our foundation is not strong enough, or we're building too high. And it's getting dark, so I really want to get this knocked out before nighttime, because when I go to sleep, I don't know what I'll wake up to, whether it'll be raining or sunny or whatever. But I want to make sure I don't have to do a whole bunch of repairs, so I'm really trying to slap this roof up before I go to sleep, because like I said, when you wake up, you just don't know what you're going to get. If I can prevent some unnecessary repairs, I'm going to do it, because why not? So we're going to raise this foundation over here for sure. It's just a little too far for us to make it a decent roof. So I'm going to line this up underneath the pillar and raise it up until it touches a decent amount, and there we go. Then I'm going to do this one again. So notice that these pillars are the ones I established on the corners of the framework. They're just sitting there, not doing anything. Well, now that lineup is helping me establish these corners, or this foundation again. So now it's dark. I don't like the lighting. I'm gonna slap up a torch or two real quick. I just want to finish this roof, remember? Alright, looks like our foundation is holding so far. And that's the roof. We're done with roofing part 2. Now this little spot's jutting out, but I assume that that's going to get damaged almost regardless unless I add another roof. But we are good to go to sleep now. So we're going to head on back to the multi-modular shelter over here. I built it as like a showcase. So yeah, that video, you know what, I'll just link it again, because maybe now you're going to be curious. It shows all the stuff that I did for this build, so I'm not going to worry about it. It looks super cool, it's neat, no big deal. It's got its designated role here, okay? Alright, so we're going to wake up and we're going to look at our progress here. This has been 1 day of building so far. So let's see how far we've gotten. It's looking pretty nice. Pretty quaint. This fog's really setting a nice little mood here. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. So, let's get to building the dock. Get our wooden floor pieces here and start digging in. I'm seeing a problem, and it didn't seem to bother me one bit when I was initially building this. So, it is its thing, The water level obviously is completely submerging these things, which, I chose a bay, I chose a harbor. It's hard to choose. It's hard to figure out the water level from a bay or harbor, or not harbor, sorry, bay or sea area. Again, if you're in a river, don't have to worry about that. The water level is what the water level is, with the exception of like a little bit of waves just for the watery look, And so we're just establishing a little bit of our flooring again back here, just to kind of really, potentially expand underneath the stairs if possible. But I just think it's a good idea to not waste the space. And I can't crawl through there, so I just want to see what all I can do here. Building this dock area. tight little spot, but I'm gonna do it eventually. There we go. Okay, I seem pretty satisfied with that. We're gonna level out this ground a little bit more. Now I'm staying close to the ground that I'm standing on while it's still, even though it's still slanted or steep. By establishing that ground nearby the foundation of the wood there, I was able to establish the new level without it being completely wrong or too deep, and not actually helping with the foundation. I decided to take that out, give it a little space, make it look kind of cool. This one I'm not super stoked about, but it's alright. I'm going to take out this wall and put a door up instead. Be careful with doors, they're kind of tricky. Gotta get their placement just right, and if I really think about it, I probably didn't get that one right. Doors always trip me up. Add some beams. Adding the wall. All right. Looking pretty good. Just deciding if I want to layer this a certain way. And I thought about it. Doesn't help me at all. Putting the ladder down there. So I put up half wall instead. Now this is interesting. I didn't know this, but the water level is so crazy in here, even though it goes below the surface, I still couldn't build my storage chest, which was very frustrating. I stood there in bewilderment for a little longer than I'd be proud to admit, to be fair. But you're seeing it now, and it's not in real time, it's in 1.25 times, so I actually stood there even longer than you guys just saw me. So it's not allowing me to establish a chest, which normally I would have put the chests underneath the stairs because I think it's really cool. So now I'm going to move a workbench near the edge of the dock so I can repair my boat without any issues, even if I'm parked a little further away from the dock. And I'm still bewildered by this water phenomenon I'm running into. Very frustrating. Not happy about it. But oh well, it is what it is, and I will press. So get rid of this torch here, plop down my workbench, and my torch there. Do a upgrade for my workbench. Remember, this is the starter dock, so we're only going so far. Got our first 2 upgrades for the workbench. That's it. Still can get all that in the meadows. Gonna plop a couple of chests over here. This next part is just to showcase you that, you know, you can always put a forge down and get your bellows and stuff. Like, you can easily upgrade this area. It's big enough. You can totally work with it. No problems whatsoever. Now I'm not going to go too in depth, but this is all the stuff that you would eventually get from like the swamp, essentially. So I'm not going too far into it. The swamp and the black forest. So I couldn't use my forge there. It's a little too exposed because it's too close to that wall, and it's not like a full wall, it's a half wall. So there's a little exposure area for that, but now it's working good. We'll destroy this old workbench, don't need it anymore. Now we can start building the entranceway. 45-degree. What is that? Yeah, 45-degree wood wall, 26-degree wood wall, all along the main posts, not the ones where I established that skewed entranceway, or not skewed entranceway, the skewed roof. These are like where the door is going to go and all that jazz. So, and the windows. Gives it a little bit of depth and feel, but nothing too crazy. So here I'm toying around with, where I should place these. Do I like it or not? And I kind of do. I'm liking that little rounded edge for some reason. I'll put this big old wood gate here. Now, I know it seems easier than it is in all actuality. It only seems easy because I have creator mode on, creative mode, which is resource free. So I'm not worried about getting all these different resources and crap. It would be a whole heck of a job, and I have a build specifically for that, another video, a how to build a starter dock video. It was my first how to build a starter dock video, and I'm just talking over this establishing logistics issue that I'm having because it's kind of embarrassing. But if you want to go check out that other starter dock video, I'm going to put a link up right here. It's actually my most popular video. Don't mind this logistics nonsense. It's because I used the ladder. I know. I thought it would be okay, but it's not. So now I'm destroying my little cart, unfortunately. Breaks my little cart. Pun intended. Alright, so the double doors though, those are definitely for the carts, and I am hard pressed not to have a cart near my dock or my home if I have a dock, because you bring home a lot of loot and you can't portal metal. So unless you're cheating, can't portal metal. So you need to have these carts. They're totally essential to you carrying heavy loads of metal back from the ocean or from your conquests, essentially, or your explorations. All right, so it's looking pretty cool though. We've got our logistics kind of established. I would normally, like if I'm really struggling to find a trail, I'm gonna make a trail as well. But this area is pretty nice, so I'm not too worried about it. Now we're gonna do some lighting for the deck. This will help us locate the deck at night. Totally crucial for those foggy nights or just it's dark outside, So make sure you always have some deck lighting for your dock. So for visibility purposes, and somewhat aesthetics when you're pulling away from the dock too, because it looks kind of cool. Alright, so I realized, okay, I don't want to repair this every single time, and if I accidentally crash my ship into this, it's gonna hurt my dock, and I don't want my dock hurt, especially if it's already weakened and then it gets hurt to the point where it starts falling apart. It's gonna really upset me. So I'm gonna build a roof, and I would suggest you do the same. Not because it's easy. Dock roofs are not very fun, nor are they really pretty. They can be, for sure, but the whole aesthetic of it kind of is ruined by the fact that you need to have a roof on it to avoid the damage from weathering or the water. So no big deal doing it. It's just going to interfere with the sails a little bit, but other than that, it's really not that bad of a deal. But make sure you build your ceilings or your roofs kind of high. That way they're not, hindering you from jumping off the boat onto your dock because they're too short. It's that in its own is very frustrating. So I'm just doing a simple build here, nothing too crazy. 26-degree roofs over there. You just watch me plop them in. And now we're doing 2-meter beams here, just to improve the aesthetic, make it look a little more realistic, and it's also going to help us build the next section of this roof here. So I've laid a pretty decent foundation for this roof, and I'm going to put a little 1-meter post or 1-meter pole up real quick right here in the center, and that'll give me just a little bit more stability as I do something a little bit different. And this is to avoid my head hitting the ceiling or the look of the ceiling kind of changing drastically as I go down the stairs. And I just put a half wall up, and then I'm going to do a 26-degree wood wall here. And I'm going to keep that 26 degrees going with this wooden beam here. And then I'm going to cap it off with some more 26-degree wood roofs or wood walls. But I don't know, it just looks a little too boring, a little too triangular. So I'm going to switch this up for some 45-degree inverted walls. There we go, and that matches the aesthetic of the 45-26-degree roofing that I've been doing. And I'm going to fill these gaps even though the lighting is really good. These are going to be 26-degree wood walls as well. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Now we're going to put these little 1-meter beams here for a little bit more stability. I'm going to plop this wood wall half here. And then we're going to follow up with some 26-degree inverted wood walls. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. I'm going to leave our little windows there for fun. Makes it look pretty nice. And now we're going to plop our boat down. We're going to pick a carve here. The wooden raft is the ultimate starter boat, but it's not very good, and it's not realistic to have it at this point with this level of dock building. If you're doing something more simple, a wooden raft is perfectly acceptable. But anyway, now we're gonna do some miscellaneous steps here, do some tasks, check the lighting, add some extra little bits here, and some more chests. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to want a decent amount of chests in any dock that you build, just in case your load is too heavy for you to carry on your own. I would suggest at least building 4 chests at a minimum. I'm going to eat real quick, and we're going to run home and go to sleep now. Back to the multi-modular shelter. I've just noticed that that's portal number 12. This will come in handy a little later. So let's go to sleep. This is a later game bed, of course, so don't worry about that. It doesn't have anything to do with the beginner part of this video, so don't worry about it. It's just a nice little window into what you could have, I guess. And our dock's looking pretty nice. We wake up, we're able to admire it from afar. That lighting really is nice, little touch from a distance. Along with the shape, it's visually pleasing. And we're gonna take a look at the exterior here and just enjoy this dock setup. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but the sail just hit the roof, and that's one of the reasons I don't like building roofs on my docks. But if you want to avoid doing a lot of repairs, definitely do it. Now, thinking back on it, you could definitely do some improvements by maybe building this dock out back to the land here where I'm swimming, all the way back, so you can run a cart straight from the dock up and over. But I am totally pleased with having the carts inside above the water level, so that, and I can open these double doors and then just run out with the heavy loads. But if you wanted to make that improvement, feel free. It's not a bad improvement. And we're gonna test the docking now, the docking procedures of this boat, even though it goes above the roof. This water level is just crazy. So see where the sail is. The way the sail is perpendicular to the dock is a little frustrating, to say the least. You can avoid that, and I'll show you as I park the boat. But we're gonna sail away and we're gonna test it out. And it looks really nice from here. That lighting's really helping us out. The torches is a nice little guide to the perimeter of the dock itself. And it's visually appealing. The sun's glare is kind of crazy though, but that's what I get. It looks nice though. That stone circle is a really good aesthetic piece that just adds a lot more depth to the environment of this build. So now I've got my docks, or my sail, straightened out, and that's because I have no sail set. And I am freaking out because these waves are crazy. And this gives me another idea for an improvement, because now that I've tested it, I know, like, okay, maybe I want to build this dock longer in case I miss the initial one. Maybe I want to put some wood walls underneath the dock itself so that I don't get stuck underneath. And then this is the most key part here. You test to see if you can reach the storage chest while being on the dock itself. That way you can run up these stairs and ladders, plop your stuff into the carts, and you're good to go. Now don't forget to build a portal. If you don't have copper or metal on you, or if you do have copper and metal on you but you have other stuff, why not build a portal so that you can port the stuff that you can port back. I'm looking for a spot for my portal at the moment, and it's not working out very well. But I see that I've offset this roof, and it's a nice little location for a portal. So I'm going to label this as Portal 12, and that's going to get me back to my multi-modular shelter whenever I'm ready to go. So I can port my stuff back that is portable, or portable. And yeah, now we're going to go inside, test it out, see where we land. And we're back home in our multi-modular shelter. Beautiful little octagon table there. Really nice. And oh, our fire went out, so we're gonna add some wood. And we're back in our cozy hovel, sitting on the Lox fur rug. But it's time for the reveal. Number 17, the final reveal. Man, that stone circle gets me every time. I really love the way it looks. And this dock, you know, for as basic as it is, it's still beautiful. I mean, you could still do a lot of work to make it even prettier. You could add some accessories, do some other additional exterior modeling, or even interior design. and it's got tons of room. So it's more than enough for any dock that you would need for the most part. Perfect for a starter dock. This part's a little disappointing because the water level, and I can't plop chests down there like I normally would, but oh well. But yeah, it's nice. I like it. And that leads us to our final step, number 18. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. I've got a whole channel of hundreds of videos I've done for Valheim. I do have some actual real-life woodworking videos that I've been putting up lately, and I do plan on doing more. So go ahead and check those out. Check out my old videos. Really appreciate you guys coming by, watching this, and hopefully learning a thing or two. And if not, I hope you enjoyed the video anyway. Anyway, catch you guys later. Peace.